Saints have won the Super Bowl. Look at Sean Payton.
Mike Ditka being hoisted on the shoulders of his team.
You got to feel great for Mike Holmgren. I'll tell you, he did a heck of a job.
What do all these men have in common?
I don't know. It's a good question.
They are all proud members of the Sigma Chi fraternity. There are over 240 chapters in 47 states. And just as these famous SIGs have etched their names into the NFL history books,
Drew Brees is your all-time passing yardage leader in NFL history.
so too have some fraternity brothers from the University of Maryland. And it all started on a bizarre night in 1984. Not that bizarre night, this one.
Under the mask of darkness, the moving van started pulling away from the Colts complex. They were taking away equipment, furniture, the trophy case that told of the Colts tradition, and they were bound for Indianapolis. The last of the trucks left in the dreary gray of morning.
Everything's gone. There's nothing left to take. They took everything.
When I say March 28th, 1984, you think what?
You've all heard rumors that the Colts are going to move. You're going to move.
35 years ago, brothers Greg Gaston, Hal Stein, Bill Kynest, Mark Updegrove, Joe Ponzo, and Chuck Dowling took part in the NFL's most infamous move.
It was a secret move. Nobody knew that we were moving the Baltimore Colts. The way this whole thing unfolded was my first job out of college was Mayflower, and my boss came to me and said, Chuck, we need you to work all night supervising a move, but he didn't give me any clue exactly what we were actually going to do. When we needed guys to help the drivers unload trucks, Sigma Chi became a natural resource for labor.
Chuck was the connection. It wouldn't happen without his connection.
So, Chuck, this is all your fault.
It's my fault.
I want to be clear.
It's my fault.
So, Joe, you get a call from Chuck.
So there was a phone in the hall, which most people didn't answer.
Okay.
But I happened to answer it, and I found that they had this move going. And I kept going back and forth, negotiating the price, nothing personal, to get the number a little bit higher so I could get more guys to say yes.
It was double the price, right?
It was more than double, I think.
It was a pretty good negotiator. We knew it was going to be a different kind of move because normally they just tell us to go to the location, meet them there. I remember going to Gaithersburg, where the Smith-Mayflower headquarters were. We boarded a bus, and somebody got on the bus and said, the Colts are going to move, you're going to move.
I just got chills. Is that weird?
Colts owner Robert Irsay wanted a new stadium or improvements made to the existing Baltimore Memorial. When his request was denied by the city, he turned his attention west towards Indianapolis, but kept Baltimore in the dark.
I'm a Colts fan, so I knew that the Colts were in the news about possibly relocating to Indianapolis. But I didn't put two and two together when we went on this bus that we were going to move the Colts. We had no idea
where we were going.
And I don't remember the guy coming on the bus, but I remember when we went up 95 North, and I saw Owings Mills. That's when the light bulb went on for me, and I said, we're moving the Colts.
It was a miserable night to move. We showed up right at dark or right before dusk, and you saw the Mayflower vans lined up out of the gate. There was 13 trailers there.
It was surreal. As soon as we walked in, I figured out the facility. There was an office. I went under the desk and got on the phone and tried to call George Michael's Sports Machine.
Wait, hold on. Yes, by the way, what a great show. I wish they'd bring that back.
It was
the buttons, the graphics, way
show.
ahead of their time. Yeah. Wait, so you went underneath a desk?
I went under a desk and just started dialing, and someone keeps answering the phone really quick. And I'm like, God, something's not right with this phone. Well, I realized after about 3 or 4 tries that there's someone there grabbing the phone, so it's not getting out of the facility.
Amazing.
So I started hearing, hey, who is that? So I'm like, I hang up, and I kind of tuck and roll through the other office and disappear into the bowels of the facility and just went about my job at that point.
You've seen some movies.
I just thought, man, I loved George Michael at the time. I thought it would be perfect to let him know where I was and what I was doing.
Well, it was really cool going down to where the jerseys were hanging. And I remember having Roger Carr's jersey in my hand. and Burt Jones. Their jerseys were actually in my hand.
Oh, yeah. Mark,
And
I think, packed the Lombardi trophy.
I watched him pack the Lombardi trophy.
That was unbelievable. Yeah, it was really cool. At that point, it wasn't just the weight of the trophy, the weight of the moment. You're moving the Colts.
I had a little different point of view than what Mark did, because Mark literally was there touching it. I was down in the corner. I kept my eye on that trophy throughout the night.
He wanted to take it.
I
would have done that.
was trying to figure out how I could be there just in time when that box happens to be going out to the van, and I might miss the ramp that goes up to the van, and it might just disappear.
I love it. You're alerting the media. You're stealing the Lombardi.
I didn't want it. You know what? I thought if I had that trophy and I gave it to the mayor of Baltimore, I'd be a hero in Baltimore.
The Colts had to sneak out of town at night. It degrades a great tradition of the city in football.
What did you guys take?
Who was the ringleader, by the way?
Statute of limitation over?
Well, I never
It is 35 years. It's over.
Other than that, and it wasn't the trophy for personal, I wasn't looking to take anything, but then one of the brothers, he comes by and he has these beautiful white turf shoes.
Turf shoes turned into jerseys, turned into pants.
Yeah.
Guys look like the Michelin Man walking around. It got crazy.
We were decent playground athletes, but this was the closest we would ever get to the NFL. It was a big moment, right? These guys are walking around layer upon layer.
What do you mean, these guys? Which one of these guys are you talking
those
about?
guys.
Yeah, those guys on the...
It wasn't me. No, I would say put that back. That's not yours.
But actually, what happened, I guess it was close to midnight or maybe 1 in the morning, the players started to filter in. One of the players that had walked in recognized his Sony Walkman. And
hot item at the time.
It was brand new, it just hit the market. And he went up to the coach, and the whole move came to a complete stop.
And they said, you've got 10 minutes, to give the stuff back. And we were all indignant, like, oh, we did steal in it, please, please. And meanwhile, and we start peeling these things off layer by layer by layer.
The way I remember it, management then came in and said, well, listen, if you can wear it out of here, you can keep it.
I like that.
See, I don't remember that either.
I don't remember that either.
I walked out of there
because I didn't get anything.
I walked out of there with a sticker. I had a Colts sticker. That's all I got.
Right.
I wanted to do a job. It started to sleet. We're moving the stuff. We're pushing it into the vans.
It started getting really slippery.
Yes,
there were fans who were lined up at the gates hurling the sleep balls at us.
When we left, every television station caught wind. Everybody was out there.
Everybody was
lights, the
outside.
cameras were there as we rolled out.
So the move is complete, and you guys now go back to the fraternity. What are you thinking?
I remember it really hit me. The next day, we came back really groggy, and the local news is starting to cover this.
The sign is still on the building, but this is no longer the home office of the Baltimore Colts.
And you see slow motion footage of Johnny Unitas and Tom Maddie and Raymond Berry. This storied, legendary franchise. And I thought, man, this is a sad moment because it meant so much to the town of Baltimore, this blue-collar town that took great pride in their team. I felt for the fans at the time.
Heartbroken's a good word. When you got over half your life involved with this ball club, like I have.
I didn't think of the employees, you know, that there were a lot of people who were losing their jobs as a result of this move.
It's over, so I just didn't want you guys freezing out here, getting all wet and sick out of this. You know?
And the way in which it happened, in the middle of the night, you know, but at the time, you guys didn't think twice about not doing it.
Correct.
I think if I was from Baltimore, it might be different. But I didn't have that attachment to the city of Baltimore. I feel for their fans.
For me, it didn't really sink in until I lived in Cleveland when the Browns moved.
The atmosphere here is like a family funeral.
All of a sudden, it did hit home for me more what happened to Baltimore. Until that point, I did a job.
Anytime you meet a Colts fan and you tell them the story that you helped facilitate the move, they're still upset about it.
They are.
Would another team make Baltimore forget the Colts?
You'll never forget the Colts.
Although I know it hurt people who lost their beloved Colts, we will always have this to share. This was one event that I'll treasure for our lifetimes.
You know, we came back with this common experience. It did make us tighter as a group. You're kind of part of NFL history in a weird sort of way.
You are part of NFL history. You moved the Baltimore Colts.
Yeah.
But I mean, not for nothing. Mother Teresa is known for doing what she did. Pope John Paul is known for doing what he did. And Sigma Chi is known for moving the Colts.
I love it.